Recently in our travels, we had the opportunity to meet up with different RV YouTube channels. We took that opportunity to quiz them.
Oh, how did they answer?
Let's see what they had to say. Hey everybody, I'm Natasha.
And I'm Bill.
With Nursing Our Travel Bug. If it's your first time here, we want to welcome you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. I'm a travel nurse.
And I'm a stay-at-home dad. And we've been traveling over 3 years now with our 2 kids and our dog Bernie and our 5th wheel. Right back here.
On our channel, we share our family adventures,
RV fix-it tips and product reviews.
and of course, travel nurse videos. Today, though, we are asking some RV YouTubers some very interesting questions. And we've broke it up into 4 different videos.
Today's question is RV horror story.
Woo! Well, if we're gonna ask some other folks to share their RV horror story, we should probably share some of ours. We have oodles.
Yeah. Tons of people are always telling us we should just turn on a camera and talk about these. I believe the last one I can really recall is Kyle from K&R Destinations. Like, that should be its own show.
And we may very well do that. But let's just give you a sneak peek of some of the mishaps we have incurred throughout our adventures.
She likes to tell this one. I'm gonna tell it my way. We're in Fargo, North Dakota. We're going in to get some minor warranty work done on the RV. We get there and they want us to pull it into the bay. Only all of a sudden, I'm not feeling good. I don't know what was going on. I felt like I was gonna pass out. My head's hurting.
Yeah, how convenient. He feels good and can't drive the RV. So it's up to me. And I've never towed in my life.
And they're guiding her in.
Yeah, that was the first mistake. They were guiding me in. We should have just dropped the trailer and said it's all yours.
Yeah.
But oh no.
So they wanted to pull through this chain link gate, forward, turn, and then back into the service bay.
We've got a 42-foot rig with a dually truck long box. So we're 65 feet long. This baby does not turn on a dime.
They're guiding her, and then they say, all right, start turning. Well, she wasn't past the chain link fence yet.
Crash!
And the guy's like, you just might want to come look at this. We'll put in some pictures here. Look at that. Tore it up.
Yeah.
Busted the window.
Busted window, body damage. They had to get a forklift to pull our rig off of the fence. Luckily, they were able to get their fence guy out there to fix it, so we didn't have to pay for that as well. Thank God for insurance. Yeah, that was a nightmare, and a nightmare to get fixed. So that was definitely an RV horror story for us.
And I think that's probably our biggest RV horror story, just because it happened so early in our travels. Now let's hear what some other folks had to say.
Hi, I'm Ricky.
And I'm Barbara.
And together we're RV Underway, and we are from...
Hellberg, Alabama.
And we are at...
Mayberry.
Campground in Mount Airy, North Carolina. We have had minor issues. Very minor. Nothing major and nothing like a horror story. We had a rough odor at one point, which we had to track down, and we thought it was the black tank, and turns out it was actually the gray water tank had filled up, and we learned our lesson having poured soda and washing dishes down. All that stuff goes to your gray tank, and it, settles in there, and the odor. And we didn't realize your gray tank would cause that kind of backup or smell. So we learned that lesson. All of ours have been minor. I left the steps down once and pulled out of a campsite in the Corps of Engineers campsite and scrape, and No damage done. Got out and pulled the steps up. They're spring loaded anyway, so all they did was slid across the asphalt. But we have been extremely lucky.
The awning.
Well, we have tore up the awning twice, and we let the wind get to it, and now we tie it down wherever we are. Yeah, we learned that lesson.
Hey everyone, I'm Harold Strange with One Strange Adventure.
And I'm Cindy.
We were down in Florida in the middle of summer at Disney, and our AC went out. That was horrible.
110-degree heat index and no AC.
And when you're in Florida and you're in Disney, you pay Disney prices for ACs too. So,
just a tip.
Yep, we learned that quick.
Hello everyone, my name is Charlie Grace. I'm with Furever Best Friend. This is a good one. So our RV has very little ground clearance. We've got about 6.5 inches on the bottom. So one time I tried to take a hill that had a few potholes, and as I went up the hill, not only did I drag, but I took off quite a bit of the bottom. And I had to replace my gray water tank and a gray water pipe and a few other things. So let's just say I've now learned to understand my ground clearance.
We are Kidz TV, Aaron and Rocky.
My black tank valve opened when we were traveling, and when I got to campground and went to hook up, got a little dirty.
I'm Debbie from BluWave Odyssey.
And I'm Bob with BluWave Odyssey.
Well, we had a leak in the RV one time. We haven't really had too much bad luck.
And ironically, mine happened twice. It happened on our second camping trip ever, and the second time it happened was here. It was a real rookie mistake. I unhitched the trailer and didn't chock it. And as I was getting ready, going along, all of a sudden my trailer rolled and fell off of this blocks that I had it on. So that's really
He was a little distracted here.
Yeah, here I did get a little distracted. I'm going to blame it on everyone coming up. That would be mine. It actually happened here, I'm going to admit it. And the first thing I did was look around to see who saw it. And nobody saw it. I was so glad.
Well, hi, I'm Keith.
I'm Indiana.
And we are traveling down to Bannisters. We actually had a short trailer that a friend of ours was driving. We tried to tell him his truck was too small for a 30-foot tag long, and he didn't listen to us, and so he rolled our entire RV, which we were not far down the road from when he did, came down, and it looked like a pinata who went off and went all over the place.
We only had the flat bed. That's all we had left.
So remember this, if you tow in an RV, it's not always about if you can tow it, it's about if you can stop it.
Hello and welcome to Proceeding Onward in America.
POA.
I'm Fabian.
And I'm Becky.
Went down Sawmill Parkway.
In Connecticut, and we almost went under an 8'8" bridge.
Very short bridges.
So do not go down any parkways in Connecticut.
So how'd you get out of that pickle?
Yep.
We took an illegal right-hand turn and made some people mad.
Well, I'm Teresa.
I'm Mike.
And we're meant to be RVing. You want me to tell you that story? What you've done? No.
What I've done. Go ahead. Well, you did it. You tell them.
No, I didn't do it. You did it. Yes, I'm telling you.
Rule number one: when you're dumping the black tank and you're flushing it, don't walk off and multitask on something else, because it will happen and it will fill up and it will go
straight up on the roof.
Straight up on the roof.
And come out the top.
Nice meeting you guys. I did. Guilty and charged.
Hi, I'm Diana.
And I'm Brad.
And we are It's About Time Now.
We actually, I damaged the awning making a turn out in Washington State. A logging truck filled in the lane that I was trying to turn onto, and I scraped the awning all the way down the stop sign and knocked the bottom piece of plastic off of it.
Yeah, the top piece of plastic came off. We had to go 2 miles down the road to make a U-turn with gummies, come back, and then we found it. It was amazing.
Digging through weeds about 2 feet tall.
Yeah,
found it. It wasn't damaged. It had just come unclipped, and it's back on there today. So
I'm still surprised about that one.
I'm Bill.
I'm Nancy.
And we are the Thin Blue Lake. The worst one is our main slide out failed. We had it overweighted, and it was a little bit of rotted from a leak that we didn't take care of. I didn't take care of. And it cost me $10,000 to fix that.
We got more. If y'all want to know, just go to the channel and check it out.
Hi, I'm Allison, and this is Andrew, and we're from our national adventure. We've got a ton of RV horror stories, but if you want to check out our worst one, we've got RV falling apart couple videos on that. Our RV was amazing up until it wasn't.
The front cap got dented severely, and actually the belly underneath the kingpin area was going to drop.
So on our kingpin, it completely started to drop. All the sealants along the front part of our RV started to separate, and at one point we thought that the RV was going to completely separate from our truck where we were pulling it, and the RV would just be lost in the dust somewhere. We've got a whole bunch of stories on that one, but I'd say that would be the worst, and hopefully never happens to anybody else.
We are getting out RV adventures with the McGuires. I'm Scott.
I'm Carrie. I'm Chloe.
One time we had gotten to a campground, and it was late when we got there. It was already dark, and so we set up in the dark. And I start hearing this water, not water flow, but just water running sound that I wasn't accustomed to hearing. But this was only our second or third time out. So I asked Scott about it, and then we researched what that could be. And then the toilet overflowed and exploded in my face because it turns out dirty water out of the black tank. And so it turns out that we had a valve stuck open that we didn't realize, and so we had to do like a black tank flush and get the valve to close and all that stuff. So then the next day, there was an operator error. We won't name names or point fingers about who that was, but the black flush was left on too long, so then the water started overflowing into the RV. So 2 days in a row, we had to clean up water, used all of our towels, and had to do laundry at the campground laundromat.
We have a video on it. We have video evidence.
Lesson learned. Don't get distracted during your black tank flush and talk to your neighbor.
Who was so friendly.
Yes, he was.
Super friendly, just don't need to get distracted. Now that's a rule. You can't talk to your neighbor while you're flushing a black tank.
It's a McGuire rule.
Hi, I'm Crystal with Crystal's Pets.
And I'm Jason with Imagine Your Odyssey. Probably leaving the dog uncrated last night, and she freaked out and scratched all the paint off the side of one of the moldings.
Yeah, that just happened last night.
We got to go home and do a repair.
And this is the 8-pound mini Dachshund, not the big dog.
So I am William from the Camper Life YouTube channel. So we actually were at our last campground and we had our window get busted out. Nobody has noticed that here yet, but the video's coming out Sunday. So we do have a totally busted out window on the side of our RV that got the stuff on order to have all that fixed, and it has been a fiasco. Nothing of our fault, so it's actually going through somebody else, which makes it even harder. I almost wish it was my fault. That would be easier.
Hi, I'm Jonnie with Jonnie's Journey.
I'm Kelly with Vanderella, and this is Maddie.
And Maddie doesn't have a channel.
Not yet. Well, since we've only had the rig less than a few months, this is probably voyage number 3 for us. When you leave your coffee cup on the counter and then take off, the coffee cup does not stay put. And coffee goes everywhere.
Yep.
And I'm not a coffee drinker.
Here we go. Hey guys, I'm Mark.
I'm Carrie with Art of RVing.
Forgot to chalk the tires after I pulled it off the hitch, and it rolled back about 6 inches.
And I was in the camper getting dinner ready.
And so that was kind of scary.
It was frightening.
Yeah, and I thought I could stop it. And so I put my arm out like I'm going to stop it. You know, it's like, yeah. So yeah.
It was scary. We were in a hurry.
Yeah.
And it's not a good time to be in a hurry.
No. So that was kind of crazy. Yeah.
I am New Horizons, and this is my husband, Germ, also known as Indiana Boy on my channel. Well, it might have been this time I gave you the directions when we was going to Kings Island, and we were on a busy interstate in Ohio, and he said, "Where's our next exit?" And I said, "Put the directions over in front of his face." And I said, "I don't know, which step are you on the printed directions?"
Take it. This is on a 5-lane highway, 4:30 in the afternoon, and I'm in the center lane, and traffic's bumper to bumper. And then, of course, you got the good one where she come out of the bedroom down to the living room and went, slid down the steps.
I forgot there were steps, and I slid from the bedroom all the way through the RV.
I'm Shelly. And I'm Michael.
And we have Talon, and we are our epic RV adventure. Well, I mean, I would probably say the horror story, the worst one was just buying a brand new RV for the very first time, going down the road, and literally 2 nights later when we're packed up and ready to go home, he didn't put the awning in and we hit the neighbor. I mean, you know, as you're pulling out. So I would say that would probably be our worst horror story.
And we're not looking to make anything worse.
But it wasn't too bad because, you know, it was fixed and the neighbors didn't have any damage and everything was good.
As far as I know.
Right.
Whew.
Those are some crazy horror stories for sure. What have been your horror stories? We want to know. Drop them down in the comments below.
We appreciate you all watching this video. You gotta like it. You gotta subscribe to us if you haven't done it. And we appreciate you spending your time here.
And don't forget to check out these awesome RV YouTubers. We'll leave a link to every channel in the description down below.
Well, I'm Bill.
And I'm Natasha.
We are nursing our travel bug.
Encouraging you to nurse what makes you happy.